Toxicity. Let's talk about it. In online gaming, no matter what game you play, you're going to encounter some toxic behavior. Not just the IO, but for all games. Any game where you got interactions amongst people, you're going to have a couple bad apples. So, here's some things that I picked up on my journey just throughout life. So, let's get right into it. If you stop and think about it, you'll recognize that usually when someone is toxic on the internet, they may also be like this in real life. And this may indicate something may not be going well for them in their actual personal life. So I actually feel more empathy and sadness for them than I do anger or retaliation. You know what I mean? There could be many reasons as to why somebody's being, toxic on the internet. It could be they're looking for smoke. I mean, that's just generally what it is. This one gonna feel like it's kind of, a direct shot, but it ain't really. It could be that they see where you at, and that's where they want to be. So they think attaching themselves to you off of straight hatred is gonna put eyes on them. But when reality, it's the personality, my boy. That's what people draw towards me. It ain't cause I'm the best, I'm tier 1. It's cause they cool with me. People don't like you, bro. And they probably never will. I mean, you don't have a personality. But I did, I digress. Let me get back on track on the video. But like I was saying, it could be that they, they just looking for smoke. Or they got, ego issues. Which, that's a big thing in gaming as well. Or they're just socially inept. Like, they don't socialize well. Or simply, they're just young and naive, which there ain't no issues with that. But I'll tell you the worst. Let me tell you the worst of them all. The worst is a whole adult whose mentality is childlike. We're just gonna categorize them as man-childs. But that's what a lot of it is. It's a lot of grown people who only got the IO or online presence to hang their hat on. Like, don't let these people steal from your positive energy. Like, these people that you're feeding into it, don't feed into them. They're negative and they're gonna stay negative. So don't fall for the trap, man. I mean, just imagine being so emotionally caught up in an unbelievably profound way over a video game. Even for big time video game players, it's a casual experience. Don't allow your mood to ever be so deeply impacted by just a game. Alright? Like, I can't stress that enough. It is just a game, people. Just have fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, don't feed the negative energy. That's what they're looking for. And if you give it to them, you're failing yourself. The behavior, it reminds me, like, I don't want to be like that. I want to be the master of my emotions and not allow myself to be negatively impacted by someone who cannot maintain their own emotions and composure. A common trait among toxic gamers is that they'll feel the need to tell others what they think about their abilities. They'll continue to insult and critique on this basis. Critique is important, but the easy peasies, the get goods, the XDs, the L's, anything remotely close to this, mute them. Just mute them. It's very easy to get defensive, and probably just as equally easy to engage in a vicious cycle of back and forth insults. So that's why I'm saying, just mute. Just mute the people that are not pleasant. Recognize how much influence you really have in a given situation. You can't change their personalities, and you won't be able to convince them to change their behavior. So, signify toxic traits and mute them accordingly. There's some players who just take, the mute all by default approach. While that's understandable, this approach denies you some of the best online experiences around, especially when you do encounter players who can coherently express constructive criticism, who can kill the ego and give credit where credit is due, or simply they're just lovely people to be around. You don't want to rob yourself of any of those situations by muting everybody. That's why I usually mute accordingly. If they spam chat, mute. If they're showing any traits of toxic, mute. You know what I'm saying? Deal with it person by person. You'll weed out the bad apples eventually. In the end, remember to keep everything in perspective. Remember that you're here to have fun, and in the event of an encountering toxic behavior, it should prompt you to react with empathy and understanding, rather anger and retaliation. So take care, stay smooth, and have fun out there.